Welcome in to the DNVR Avalanche pregame show. We got the Avs versus the Flames on the first SEGABABA of the season.
SEGABABA.
And it is a true SEGABABA sludge game. Both teams on the back-to-back here.
SEGABABA.
Can we just chant that for 30 minutes and that be our pregame show?
That would be... What do you think? After like 10 minutes, somebody would be like, all right, I'm going to fast forward till they're done doing this. And they fast forward and we're still doing it? That stamina would be so impressive.
They're possessed. What's going on?
The reality is we would perfectly loop it. So
Yeah,
you couldn't tell where the cut
you
was.
wouldn't be able to know. Mm-hmm. Wouldn't even have to do the show for that long.
Yeah, exactly.
For the Avs side of things, it does look like it's going to be Prosvetov in
Nice
net.
kick, nerd.
And Logan O'Connor is taking warm-up, so could well return to the lineup.
Thank gosh.
Dude, that third line was pretty good the other night.
I don't want to hear it. Logan O'Connor is the glue.
He makes the Avs lineup better. That's for sure. I'll have no argument on that side of it.
They sent Riley Tufte to the glue factory.
Well, after that turnover the other night, what are you going to do?
Can I just say, like, I don't want to get onto this whole thing. Riley Tufte's first game, I don't know what his expected goals for percentage of 5v5 was. I actually completely forgot.
But it's gotten worse every
His
game.
best since then is 22. 22.
Yeah. It's been rough.
Your 22 should be a low mark for every other guy in the NHL all season long. And instead, for Riley Tufte, it's, can he get back to that level? 22. Ridiculous. I'm just saying, it's whatever. I'm not really seriously grinding the sacks right now. It's just that the whole like, but Riley Tufte's really good. He's been brutally bad.
I mean, even throw the stats out. You look at that turnover he had the other night, and there's no coach in the NHL that says, "Oh yeah, I'm fine with that." Like,
and
one-way ticket.
I wish the goal was more of his goal, so
Sure.
that there could be a stronger defense
Instead of just off his shin.
Yeah, it goes off his leg and into the net, and it's like,
But he went to the front. He went to the front.
yeah, and I give him full credit for that, but it's just
No, not me.
I don't
Yeah.
need to go into the whole Riley Tufte, but I was going through that game log again this morning and was like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, tough one.
Like, there's like guys that like will come in and have like a 40% or something like that, where you're like, it's not very good. But he's putting up games in the teens.
Yeah. It's a tough look.
Blah.
It's a tough look for sure. Rest of the Avs lineup, we'll get into it a little bit later in the show, but tonight you're going to need the stars. We'll put it that way. Realistically, what are expectations for a game like this? Because it's two tired teams. What is this game supposed to look like? Let me
Last
ask you
night's
that
game.
way. The same
Sludge.
Not wrong.
Sludge. All through all three zones of the ice. Special teams are garbage. Sludge City. That's what tonight's game is supposed to look like. Because last night's game was that. God knows what tonight's looks like. It'll probably be some high-flying circus act.
I asked Rudo earlier if he had brought his pillow and tip. You know, 'cause I think it's gonna be a snooze fest in the first. That's just my thought process tonight. I think this is a snooze fest to start with, and then let me see where you can mess up. You know, where you can have a bad shift, and
Just make less mistakes.
I'll see if I don't do the same, and kind of wait and see what happens. I think this comes out 0-0 after one, and a scoring chance aside, and that's just what I think. And I think in the
AJ's not a
second, I know,
believer,
but that's
is what
okay.
that's
You
about.
know? That I think it's just a boring game in the first, and I think in the second, I think you're going to see some tired mistakes, and
Long
one team,
change,
yeah,
tough.
and one team take advantage of it. And then you're going to see a gap there. Hopefully, it's the Avs.
Eric, any sleeping tips in your big three keys here?
Yes. How to sleep through a game like this. You could back then. You could. You would just water ski, right? You would just like, you can't do that anymore. It's a penalty. You go to the box and feel shame.
Based on some of the reffing this year, you can't do anything anymore.
Yeah, you can't do much, you know?
Existing is a tough ask.
Let's see what we got here. The three keys. Let's start with the first one. Simple start. I was just talking about this. I think, even or better after 20. You got to feel decent, feel your way into the game, get everyone involved in the game, play 5-on-5 hockey, stop with the penalties. Both teams are on the same level of fatigue tonight. There's no team that was waiting for one team tonight, last night, and cozy in their bed. The same level of fatigue. So, number 2, I think this is where it's going to start being very glaring in the second period. Puck management. Make sure it's on point. Patience is key today. Don't try to, again, if you're not a rusher, don't try to rush the puck. Keep it simple, right? Quick zone exits. Don't mess around. Don't bring the puck backwards for no reason. And then, again, it's an old cliche, smart at both blue lines. This game's going to be won or lost tonight at the blue lines. 3 games within the game. I mean, goaltending. You're assuming right now, we're assuming it's going to be backup versus backup, right? It sounds like it.
Yeah.
Vladar versus P-Dog there. I'm not going for his name again. Special teams battle. This is where AJ came in on the rant about the PP. This is where it's going to, and I agree. We agree with him. This is where tonight, special teams, you need to score a big goal or you got to have a big kill. In an execution, if you get 2 out of the 3, on those 1, 2, 3 there, between goaltending, special teams, and execution, should be able to win the game. And that goes for Calgary too. Those 2 out of 3, right? So
definitely true.
It's going to be a battle of that. I'm excited for it, even though I believe it will be a snooze fest to start with. But I think with the fatigue, it's going to start opening up by the second period.
Couple of factors there. You're talking about the fatigue, and that's where I think your second point about quick zone exits. I think at times the Avs have had some issues getting the puck out of their own zone, maybe some extended shifts. You talk about it all the time when the big guns stay out there on power plays, things like that. Can't be doing any of that tonight because your legs are already tired going into it.
And I know, and I say that to youth hockey all the time. Like, you think you got enough in the tank? I'm not worried because I do believe you have it in the tank, especially McKinnon, Rantanen. Guys, they have, those guys can play with, their lungs are amazing. But it's that one extra push that you stay there, and then all of a sudden it doesn't go in the net, and then you keep pushing, and then you lose it. That's when you're going back. There's nothing left in the tank, and that's where, I think they got, really, what was it, the 5th game of the season? Remember, it was one of those times where it's a matter of seconds and the puck's in your net. And tonight, I think you're right. It's a key thing. You can't give the other team, which is Calgary, things like that on a silver platter. You know what? If Calgary wants to work, and then, kudos to them if they come out of a shift and they outworked you and they made things happen, good on them. But don't give them anything. Don't give them anything. Make them work for everything they have.
Yep.
I don't think it's going to be a big deal tonight.
What are you vibing with then?
Yeah, I think they're going to score quickly on their power plays.
Nice.
I don't think it's going to be a snoozer after 1. I think they're going to have a 2 or 3 goal lead. I am the irrational confidence guy tonight. And
That's unusual. Yeah.
It's probably the Starbucks that I'm consuming right now.
He's hopped up on the caffeine.
Exactly.
He's on his 4th cup the last 20 minutes.
I'm feeling it right now. I'm just irrational confidence hit as soon as I walked in the building.
Hey, I hope you're right.
Look, as part of that confidence, you got 1 point out of your big 3 last night. Those dudes got to come through for you tonight.
Just that they've really, their scoring has been there, but it's almost been in a secondary nature.
For sure.
It hasn't been these guys are driving the bus for you, and it just feels like, we've watched these guys for years be too dominant to believe that this is just going to continue this way. And going into Dallas and then into Denver the next night is a tough back-to-back. They blew up for 7 goals last night. Do they do the same thing? I don't care if it's Prosvetov or not.
Got to keep that under control.
I just think that the Avs. It's not like the Avs aren't blowing teams out and aren't scoring goals. I just think that we're in for one of those kind of semi-boring the Avs score first, they score second, they score third.
Yeah, can't stop.
And then the game kind of gears down a little bit, and it's Colorado's big guys that get it done. They do it on the power play early on, and then you can just kind of cruise the rest of the night.
And that's the thing about these second half of back-to-back games. If you get a 3-goal lead, that other team's going away quick. They're going to go, boy, you know what? We're down 3. My legs are done. Maybe we just pack this one in.
Just don't open the door for them. That's where that discipline comes in. Don't open the door for the other team to come cruising on back into a game.
Yep.
If you're going to take a penalty, man, make it count. Make it a smart penalty. Don't be Jonathan Drouin going off for a change and just clip a guy on the way by, or Bowen Byram throwing pucks into the stands. It's very friendly of him to donate free gifts to the kids in the crowd, but come on, man. Just play smarter hockey. As a team, just play smarter hockey. Don't beat yourself.
And Calgary's they had that tough stretch, right? I mean, they had that.
They started very
I want to
poorly.
say 8 games where they didn't have a win.
14 months into that tough stretch?
No, I know, but I'm talking
15
about.
years.
But in their last 8 games, I want to say that's mean. In their last 8 games, I think they got points in 7 of them. You know, so they've righted the ship a little bit. They got some young guys playing, right? Pospisil and guys that have been called up that are playing pretty good. You know what I mean?
That Connor Zary
you know,
looks
made a nice play
good.
yesterday. Yeah, so they're trying to inject that youthful enthusiasm there. Huberdeau had a couple decent night, a couple games ago. Got himself. I mean, that was going pretty bad for him. So this is a team that's they're decent. They got some good players. They're better than what they've shown. Old friend Kadri and guys like that. So I mean, it's not a walk in the park. It's a decent team. I think that team's better than what the record shows. It's just been a rough go for them. You know, just like Rudo right now is having a rough go with.
I've been here for half an hour and I got you sick.
I hope not.
Unreal.
If your sickness is all sneezes, I'm gonna be in trouble.
And I didn't sneeze at all. No sneezes.
The other side of these top guys I want to talk about, and Chad has already kind of mentioned it. Cale Makar played almost 29 minutes last night.
Hell yeah, he did.
That's a lot of time on ice on those legs to come into a back-to-back.
He's a beast. When you're not of Earth, it's fun. It's
Just
fun.
play through it, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
No
It's fun,
problems.
man.
All right.
In reality, they gotta trust these other cats a little bit more. Not Jack Johnson. The other cats, they gotta trust them a little bit more.
And that's what happens when Sammy's not there. It's a big hole. It is. Sammy creates a big void, and but it creates someone to step up. We all agree, Bo Byram can be better. I mean,
He's got to be better than he was last night.
Better.
Big old spotlight on him right now because there's no Gerard, and you're seeing
He's got to be better.
There's some problems there.
Yeah. For all the talk about the second line missing, you feel like Jonathan Drouin is kind of figuring it out a little bit. Your second D pairing is starting to go away now with no Gerard. So you need Byram to turn it around and step it up a little bit.
100%.
It needs to happen a little more.
They could also not put multiple defensemen in the box at the same time. That'd be good. Not trying to kill a 5-on-3 with 4 defensemen.
Yeah.
It's a tough look.
And let's see what you have. Let's see what you have in Caleb Jones.
Yeah. Let him off the leash.
Let him PK, man.
I'm
Don't
here for
play
it.
him 8 minutes or whatever. Play him. Give him
14, whatever.
I was gonna say 12 to 15,
Sure.
and a little bit of special teams time. Start to test the limitations. Gerard is out for the foreseeable future. See what you've got on hand.
I agree with that. I've always said that because it's an opportunity for someone to step up.
Exactly.
And I know we're talking about Byram, but you're right. Caleb Jones is a perfect it's a perfect candidate. And I go back to minutes, and I say that because I can say it with conviction, and I'll say it with not anger, because I'm not angry, but I'll say it's tough to play freaking 8 minutes if you're a D. Like, let him play 16, he'll play better. Just like I say it all the time. Like, Curtis or whoever playing 3-4 minutes. It is a tough night. You can't be judged on that. It's not fair. It is not fair. I used to argue Joe all the time, Saki, because he'd be like, "What are you doing? Like, whatever. You should go practice. You only play 10 minutes." And I'm like, "Buddy, you come play 10 minutes because I know you play 25. You come play 10 minutes. You're gonna die because it's so hard to do. You know what I mean? And it's just hard. But that's my point. I do believe a guy like Jones, like, bring up his minutes because he'll play better. He'll play better.
Well, if you're not going to give that guy more minutes on a SEGABABA where you ran your legs out in the first game, when are you going to give him the time, right?
I mean,
like,
and it is fair to wonder, like, what's the goal here? Like, what's the plan on defense? Or the trust in Josh Manson and Jack Johnson can't be so high that a guy who has legitimately played good hockey for you in Caleb Jones can't get more than 12. Like,
Yeah.
you should. Tonight would be a perfect opportunity. Special teams.
Push the envelope a little bit.
Yeah, let's see what happens with if Caleb Jones gets 15 minutes. Does it look like if he looks overwhelmed by it, then you go, okay,
Yeah.
we might have found a limit here.
Yep. It's a SEGABABA. It's a late night game. I'm expecting some weird stuff, so I made some weird bets tonight on Bet365. Said Colorado's going to be the first to 4 goals, so I might fall in AJ's camp a little bit more.
right.
Yeah.
Tonight, took the second period as the highest scoring period at plus 280.
No.
Actually feel like that's a reasonable bet on a normal hockey game.
Yeah, it's really good value at plus 280. though.
Yeah, right, exactly.
This is disgusting.
And then I took the coin flip, and I said the game's going to end with an even total of goals at plus 155. As AJ's watching people eat food, and he can't handle it.
Oh, even. I get it. Even total
Yeah.
goal. I got you.
Like 6 total.
2, 4, 6.
Yeah.
I like the number 2 though.
Yeah, he thinks so.
That long change. I'm telling you, that's where you have a brain cramp. You do.
I'm with
you know?
it. That's what I'm saying. Second periods tend to be higher scoring, generally. But on a SEGABABA, maybe both teams have no legs, and it's just gross. We'll
Sega.
see.
Baba.
Either way, looking forward to it. Avs have an opportunity to cement themselves in this stretch of 10 tonight. They have an opportunity to put themselves alone at the top of the Central Division tonight. Certainly,
Please.
if you're looking for motivation.
Please. Because I said after the Dallas game, 1 week from today, are they
be
in
at
first
the-
place in the division? And we said yes.
If they win tonight,
Please.
can hit it. We do have one super chat here from Jake. SEGABABA. SEGABABA.
not chanting with him.
SEGABABA. 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 Thank you for the super chat, Jake. Much appreciated.
Are you guys worried about the curse of the X at all tonight?
Yeah, Kadri will get a goal. It's fine.
Okay.
It's the only one.
Just accept that from the jump.
And if
yeah.
it's only one and not like 3 or 4
right,
of them.
exactly.
Don't want Big Z. Don't want Big Z to score.
Yeah, it does look like Tatar is in right now. Their line rushes have Tatar on the second line, LOC on the third.
No Curtis McDermott.
No Curtis McDermott after the
Scored
game-winning goal.
Take
and
the
you
night
sit,
off.
man.
Are you kidding me? He said it. He
tough.
said it on the post game,
So
right? He says
cold-blooded.
an out of body experience, right? So you gotta. Yeah, the big fella needs a night off after a play like that. You don't want him to.
Yeah.
I was so happy for him, and you know what? You could tell all the guys were so happy for him.
They always
fun.
are. It's awesome. Like
That's what I mean. No,
Every
I know.
time he scores a goal,
know.
the entire team freaks out. And
Listen,
it's
they freak out
great.
in practice when he scores a goal. So imagine on a night like last night. It was awesome.
That's starting to feel offensive.
No.
You
I'm
freak
not
out in
He
practice.
said it, not me. all
No,
right?
no, but they do. They do. All of a sudden, you're like, oh, what's happened? Oh, it's because Dermy scored a big goal in practice. Everybody's pumped. It's true. He's so well loved. That's awesome. I love it.
All right, we are about 10 minutes from puck drop. Be sure to go over to Bet365 and get your bets in before the game starts. Of course, you must be 21 or older. Colorado only. Other terms and restrictions apply. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER today. We are going to wrap up this pregame show. We do have a watch-along coming your way. At least I will be on it anyway. Yeah, come join us for that if that's your thing. Or otherwise, we'll see you after the game for our postgame where we break down whatever goes on in this sludge match. We enjoy all y'all in the chat. We appreciate you. And we will talk to you soon.
We all silly like the mayor.